I want you to picture something before we start. Your phone rings. The caller ID shows your bank's name. The voice on the other end is calm, professional, and slightly concerned. They tell you that suspicious activity has been flagged on your account. Unauthorized transactions, possibly a breach. They need to verify your identity and walk you through securing your account before any more damage is done. You are a careful person. You pay attention to your finances. You would never fall for a scam. And yet, your heart is beating slightly faster because this sounds like a real problem with your real money. The caller tells you they need to see your screen to guide you through the verification process. Could you download a quick, free app? It is just for screen sharing. Many banks use it. It will only take a few minutes. And here is the moment that has cost people in the United Kingdom alone over £25 million. Not millions of careless people. Not people who ignore security advice. People who, in that exact moment of slightly elevated heart rate and genuine concern for their finances, typed their password into a visible field while a stranger watched every keystroke. This video exists to make sure that never happens to you. What actually happens? When you share your screen, let us be precise about the technology first, because understanding exactly what you are enabling removes the mystery that makes this scam effective. Screen sharing software, tools like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, AnyDesk, TeamViewer, and similar applications, does exactly what the name says. It transmits a live image of everything on your screen to another person or device. When you share your screen with a colleague to review a document, they see your document. When you share your screen with a legitimate tech support person to diagnose a software problem you initiated help for, they see your software. When you share your screen with a scammer who has convinced you they are from your bank, they see your banking app. They see your email. They see every notification that appears on your screen. And most critically, they see every character you type in every field, including password fields that display dots or asterisks to you, but that are sometimes transmitted in clear text through certain screen sharing configurations, or that can simply be read as you type them one character at a time. These tools are not evil. Zoom did not create a fraud tool. AnyDesk is used by legitimate IT departments around the world every day. The tools themselves are neutral. The danger is not the software. The danger is the specific combination of a stranger initiating contact with you, creating urgency about your money, and then watching you type the credentials that access it. That specific combination is the scam. And it has nothing to do with whether the software is legitimate. The minute-by-minute mental movie. I want to walk you through a realistic scam scenario in detail because the most effective defense against psychological pressure is recognizing the pattern before the pressure arrives. The call comes in. Caller ID shows your bank. This is easy to fake, a technique called number spoofing, and it is the first element of manufactured credibility. The caller greets you by your first name, which feels personal and authoritative. They may know other details, your rough location, perhaps the last 4 digits of your card, information that has been gathered from data breaches or social engineering and is used to seem legitimate. They describe a specific problem. Unauthorized access from an unfamiliar location, several pending transactions. Your account is being protected by their fraud team right now, but they need your cooperation to complete the security process. This specificity creates the feeling of a real situation, not a generic scam. They express concern for you. They are on your side. They are trying to help. The emotional tone is collaborative and slightly urgent without being aggressive. Aggressive calls are easier to hang up on. This call feels like a professional trying to solve your problem. They ask you to download a tool. They explain it in neutral terms. Many customers use it. It only needs to run for a few minutes. It is just so they can see what you are seeing to guide you through the process. This normalization is deliberate. Making the request sound routine reduces the alarm that an unusual request would trigger. Once the tool is running, they guide you through what appears to be a legitimate process. Opening your banking app, checking certain sections, verifying your details. And at some point in this process, they need you to enter your password or your PIN or a one-time verification code that just arrived by text. They are watching every character. The code you enter to confirm your identity is the same code they will use to authorize a transfer from your account. The window they need is seconds. You enter the code, they enter it on their end simultaneously. The transfer is authorized. The call continues for a few more minutes of reassuring conversation, and then they thank you, tell you your account is now secured, and hang up. You may not know anything has happened until you check your balance. This is not a hypothetical. This scenario, with minor variations in the caller's identity, the platform used, and the specific information extracted, accounts for millions of pounds in verified losses, according to the UK Financial Conduct Authority's January 2026 guidance. The victims range in age from 18 to over 70. They include people who consider themselves tech savvy. They include people who have warned others about scams. They include people who, in a different context, would have spotted the exact pattern being used on them. The speed, the emotion, and the manufactured credibility work together to override the skepticism that would normally protect you. That is why building familiarity with the pattern matters. When your heart is racing, you cannot think clearly enough to analyze the situation from first principles. But if the pattern feels familiar, recognition can happen faster than the pressure can accumulate. The tells that give it away. Every element of this scam has a tell. Knowing what they are is the practical defense. They called you. This is the single most important tell. Legitimate banks contact you reactively in response to situations you have already flagged or through secure messages within your banking app. They do not call you unsolicited to tell you your account has a problem and ask for remote access in the same call. If your bank genuinely detects suspicious activity, they may call you to verify a specific transaction. But that call will not involve them asking you to download software. It will involve them asking you to confirm or deny whether you made a specific purchase. The call ends there. If there is a problem, they will tell you how to contact them through your normal banking channels. They created urgency. Urgency is a manipulation tool. Scammers create time pressure because time pressure prevents evaluation. Any caller who tells you the situation is urgent and you need to act right now before doing anything else is trying to prevent you from doing the most important thing you can do, which is slow down. They asked you to download software. No financial institution will ask you to install software on your device during an unsolicited call to resolve an account issue. If you ever hear this request in this context, the call is fraudulent. Full stop. No exceptions. They needed your code. Your bank will never ask you for a one-time verification code over the phone. One-time codes sent by your bank are security measures for transactions your bank is already processing with you. Giving that code to a caller is giving them the ability to complete a transaction. If any caller, regardless of who they claim to be, asks for code that just arrived on your phone, hang up. The verification that changes everything. The defense against this scam is not complicated. It requires one action. End the call and contact your bank through the number on the back of your card or on their official website. Not the number the caller gave you, not a number in a text message or email, the number that is physically printed on your card or published on the bank's official website that you navigate to directly, not through a link. If the call you received was genuine, calling your bank through their official number will connect you with people who can see the same alert or situation the caller described and will resolve it properly. If the call was fraudulent, calling your bank through their official number will reveal that no fraud alert was issued, no team has been working on your account, and the situation described in the call does not exist. This single action, ending the call and calling back through a verified number, eliminates the scam entirely. The scam cannot survive your decision to independently verify before acting. Legitimate organizations understand this and will not object to it. If a caller resists your attempt to verify their identity by calling back through an official number, that resistance is itself confirmation that the call is fraudulent. A real bank employee will tell you to do exactly this, setting yourself up to be a harder target. Beyond knowing how to respond to a scam call, there are 3 habits that make you a less attractive target and reduce the damage if any credential is ever compromised. Account alerts are your early warning system. Most banks and financial services offer the ability to receive immediate notifications for every transaction, every login from a new device, and every password change. Enabling these alerts means you know about unauthorized activity within seconds, rather than when you next check your balance. If a scammer successfully accesses your account, you know immediately. A password manager eliminates the risk of typing passwords on screen. When a password manager fills in your credentials automatically, you do not type the password. There are no keystrokes to observe. The password is never visible on screen as individual characters being entered. This specific protection makes screen watching significantly less useful for capturing banking credentials. Multi-factor authentication adds a layer that requires both your password and a second confirmation before access is granted. The most secure form of MFA uses an authenticator app rather than SMS, because SMS-based codes can be intercepted through SIM swapping attacks. An authenticator app generates codes locally on your device without them being transmitted over a network that can be targeted. These 3 habits, account alerts, a password manager, and authenticator-based MFA, do not eliminate all risk, but they make you significantly harder to exploit and significantly faster to detect any exploitation that does occur. If you realize, you have already shared your screen. If you are watching this and recognizing something that already happened to you, do not waste time on regret. Spend it on response. First, end the screen sharing session immediately and close the software. If you cannot close it, disconnect from the internet by turning off Wi-Fi and removing any Ethernet cable. Disconnecting the scammer from your screen is the immediate priority. Second, call your bank through the number on the back of your card. Tell them what happened and ask them to review recent activity and freeze your account if necessary. Do this from a different device if possible, particularly if the compromised device may still have software running. Third, change passwords for your banking and email accounts from a clean device, one that was not involved in the screen sharing session. Change your email password first because email is the recovery mechanism for almost every other account. Fourth, check for any software that may have been installed during the session. If you allowed remote control, rather than just screen viewing, the scammer may have installed tools that persist after the session. Have a reputable security professional check the device before continuing to use it for sensitive accounts. Fifth, report what happened to your bank, to your National Consumer Protection Agency or police, and to the platform through which the screen sharing occurred. These reports contribute to the data that helps law enforcement track and disrupt these operations. The conversation that protects people you know. Here is the most valuable thing this video can inspire. Find 5 minutes today and tell someone you know about this scam. Not as a lecture, as a story. Tell them that banks do not call you and ask you to download software and share your screen. Tell them that urgency in a phone call is a warning sign, not a reason to act faster. The UK Financial Conduct Authority's data shows that victims of this scam span every age group and every level of technical confidence. The person most likely to be targeted is not someone you would describe as careless with technology. It is someone who cares about their money, answers calls from their bank, and tries to cooperate when a professional-sounding person tells them there's a problem. That description fits most adults. It fits people you care about. The scam works because the pattern is not yet widely recognized. Talking about it with people you know is the fastest way to change that. One conversation. One person who now knows the pattern before the pressure arrives. That is the most useful 5 minutes this video could inspire.